everything about me. They don't see like 100%. They only see like 30% of me, and that's konti lang, diba? So every time I wake up in the morning, I just look at myself in the mirror and I say that you're good. Okay, you're good.
Simple.
That's pretty much it. It's as simple as that. Yeah.
Yeah, simple. I think also because nga you have that kind of, the magnitude of celebrity that you have is crazy. Like, I can't imagine how different life is for you. I'm sure it's so different, but I can't imagine just how different it is for you. And it's so funny because a few months ago, this viral video of you on Siargao circulated because you were buying a normal thing in the grocery. And I think, this is my theory. The reason why it was so popular was because when we look at celebrities as big as you and as with an influence as huge as yours, we think that you're so far away from the kind of life that everybody else lives that it's so crazy to see you in a place like that. So I want to know if there are parts of your life that's still untainted by fame and influence and all of that.
It's kind of hard for me to figure out which one, like which those are, just because I've never seen it as something that is unusual. I've never stopped doing like normal things. So it's really hard. It's difficult for me to figure out what those are. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, is it like going to the grocery, riding a tricycle?
Yeah,
like
you can't quantify
dogs
it.
Yeah, I can't. It's weird. Like, I run errands. Like, which one is it? Diba? Parang it doesn't mean that because I'm a celebrity, it doesn't mean that I don't do all of these things. Like, I'm still a normal person doing normal things, Like, I have issues. Like, I have my days when I'm not okay. Like, diba? It's just, I just really find it weird how people see celebrities as different people.
Yeah. Because I think honestly, it's also Filipino culture. It's the Filipino culture of we kind of turn celebrities into gods. Parang when you're a celebrity, you're just on a whole nother reality. You are just different. And I think that's also what dehumanizes celebrities in the way that Filipino fans would treat their celebrities, diba? Kasi that kind of appreciation for a human being also falls down into a deep dehumanization of that person, wherein you don't see that person anymore as that's somebody's daughter, that's somebody's son, that's somebody's friend, diba?
Exactly. Yeah, I totally agree. And I've experienced that so many times. Like, when people like see me riding the tricycle, like, and because I have a caretaker for my place in Siargao, and she asks me like, nagta-tricycle ka po? I'm like, what am I supposed to
lalakarin ko ba?
I don't mind walking either. Walking is also fine. I mean, it's not that I can't do it. It's just people really find it so weird. And I always go to that store, by the way, like if I need produce, like just anything, because it's a general, it's like a general store. They have veggies, they have like all of these condiments that you need, they have rice, everything, they have it. So I still go there, it's not a weird thing for me. Like, I love eating at the carinderia. Like, people find it so weird. And I'm like, what is happening?
It's also the age of social media, I think. The parang... people kind of have an expectation of how you should be or who you are based on what they see online.
On social media.
And so if they see you in person and there's a disconnect sort of to their preconceived notion of who you are, parang they're so weirded out by it and it becomes a big thing.
Yeah,
diba?
That's true.
So parang feeling ko yun. But okay, obviously, you have so many people that follow you online and so many people that look up to you. They call you Madam President Nadine.
Yeah.
Is it a lot of pressure? Do you go out of your way to make sure that you have a positive influence on people? Is that something that you put upon your shoulders, or is it something that you just think about na, I'm just gonna be myself, I'm gonna be authentic, and I'm just gonna see how that affects other people?
I think people like me because I'm 100% authentic. Like, everything that I do it because I want to. Everything that I say it because I believe in it and I want to say it. You know, I'm not the type of person who's like someone that you can just push around, or like who's someone who's in a mold. Like, if people tell me that you're not allowed to say that, like, I don't care. I'm gonna say it because
it's the truth.
That's how I feel. You know, it's the truth, and that's how I feel. So I think it's really because of that. That's why people, I don't really know honestly why people started calling me president. But I do know where it started. It started in Twitter. I just don't know how. I don't know why.
I have an assumption, and I think it's because you're articulate, you're eloquent, and you're very strong-headed in what you believe in. And that's hard to find in celebrities of your stature, because you know, you reach a certain level of fame and you're afraid to lose it. Do you get what I'm saying? And so you don't want...
I get it.
There are a lot of celebrities at your level, and it's not a diss on them, it's just reality. It's psychology, where you reach that kind of level and you're afraid to lose that level, or not even lose it. The kind of hatred and animosity that you will receive when you say something that doesn't really sit right with the masses, or with the people that follow you, with general public, it's hard, diba?
Yeah, it's also that you know, you want to please everyone, but then at the end of the day, you can't really please everyone. Because before, I kind of fell into that mold where I was expected to do or be a certain way. You know, I'm not allowed to say a lot of things. I can't be seen in these kinds of places. You know, it's I guess it's just the image that everyone else sees you in, or everyone else wants you to have. And as soon as I started speaking up, as soon as I started being more brave about who I am, about myself, and just being authentic, it was not naman upsetting, but it was weird for a lot of people. You know, when I started getting tattoos, like I have big tattoos. You know, when I started getting my first tattoo, okay lang, sige, kasi small, it's on the wrist. But, you know, as the years go by, it gets bigger and bigger. And honestly, like, it still upsets some of the fans that I'm getting tattoos. And I'm like, why? Like, what's wrong with it? You know, I love tattoos. Like, it's a form of art for me. And all of my tattoos tell a story about myself. So, I totally don't get it. But I understand why there are celebrities who just want to kind of go into that kind of flow where they don't want to upset anyone. It's because, you know, you're already in that spot where you have a good opportunity. Yeah. You know, you have
it's your livelihood.
So much work. It's our livelihood. So you want to kind of cave in, be a yes man, and just try to please everyone. But it's really difficult. I got depressed, to be honest. Like, after a couple of years of being in showbiz, I got really depressed. Yeah.
And it's no wonder, because it's a lot of pressure to be.
Yeah. And I kind of lost myself along the way, because I didn't know who I was anymore. I was just following, I was trying to fit in a mold that wasn't me. And then eventually I was like, who am I even? Like, what do I want? What do I want to do? Do I even want to be here still? Like, whose voice do I listen to? You know, like, I was afraid to speak up. I was afraid to tell everyone how I felt. It's a really harsh environment.
Yeah. And so you understand and you empathize with celebrities that just choose to be on the quieter side of things. And as you mentioned, diba, to kind of just
I totally
fall in line.
Yeah. I think that's the perfect term for that. You just fall in line. Yeah. I totally get it.
But when you said that, when you said na, you know, you didn't even know which voice you should be listening to, what popped in my head was something that I read before that said, if you keep drowning out your inner voice, you'll eventually lose it. If you keep drowning out your inner voice and listening to the directions of other people, and, obviously, there are people who want what's best for you. There are people who have good opinions and great insight that you should be listening to, but it should never reach to a point that you neglect your inner voice, because once that happens, you'll eventually lose it. You spend years of doing that, and you're right, that's what happens. You kind of lose yourself.
Yeah. You become a robot pretty much.
Yeah.
And that's really hard. Yeah.
Parang pinoprogram ka na lang. Ganon.
Yeah. You wake up and you're on autopilot. I was like that for a couple of months. Or, months lang naman. Luckily.
So how did you get from there to where you are now?
I don't know. I have no idea. I guess I kind of surrounded myself with the right people as well.
That's important. That's a biggie.
People who are, I guess, outspoken, who truly are authentic with themselves. Yeah, I think it's more of that. And eventually, I just kept, picking up all of these lessons from different types of people, from different people. It's really just hanging out with the right people or being with the right people.
This episode with Nadine was so amazing that we ran over time, but don't you worry, we've got a second episode that we'll be releasing next week here on Adulting with Joy Spring. In the meantime, if you like